It's Rejected Radio. Josh and Boner are back. Not live, not scripted, and since we're being honest, not that entertaining. Join the conversations on Facebook and Twitter by searching Rejected Radio. The Rejected Radio podcast starts now. Here's Josh and Boner.
Hola, how are you? ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
I have no idea what the hell you're saying. I took German. And don't ask for a comment from that because I pretty much coasted through.
Spreche Sie Deutsch ein bisschen.
Yeah, right.
Hast du Waffel?
It is the Rejected Radio podcast. Boner will be back. I talked to him today. He's going to be joining us very, very soon. Obviously, schedule's conflicting, and we're just kind of, again, getting the hang of things again. It's been a while since we talked to you officially on a regular basis, so we're getting there. Rojo in the house. Hello, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Sammy is listening at Cheddar's. Nada is listening from New Bern, North Carolina this evening. Thank you so much for listening and watching on Facebook Live. We appreciate that. Of course, it is Rejected Radio tonight, brought to you by Michelob Ultra, the beer Donald Trump will no longer allow in the military. There you go. Sure do appreciate you guys sponsoring the show.
It's water pretending to be beer.
I know. I'm just saying.
Hey, dude, I can drink that shit and work out all day.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Normally when you drink beer, the last thing on your mind is working out.
Yeah,
just
that's
saying.
true.
Just saying. Hello, Emily. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I appreciate that as well. Rejected Radio. So, of course, if there's something you guys want to talk about, you can always join us in the conversation right here on Facebook Live. And, of course, we're going to bring you our own brand of stupidity as well as we coast through this. Again, no clue where we're going. We just know we're going to take up an hour getting there. All right?
That's right. Like a battered wife. We're leaving town, and we don't know where we're ending up.
God, dude.
Wow. That just got so dark.
That's
so
rough,
fast.
man.
I had to start it early.
Jesus.
I told you.
You're not even drunk yet.
That's the problem.
I mean, for the love of Christ.
I don't even know. I can't respond to that.
Alcohol is my depression
That
medicine.
is so. They're just slowly moving away. There's no more Facebook Live viewers. Anyway, so let's.
So how's your podcasting, Sting? Yeah.
Well, it ended whenever we put 9/11 in the background.
What are you talking about? That's a goddamn memorial, dude. Never
beautiful.
forget. Look at that. Look at that. James Dean, Twin Towers, two American legends.
Kirsten, thanks for hanging out. Can we get that trending hashtag 9/11 never forget? Can we do that?
Oh, my God.
This is
Because of the
Jones.
picture. I love this.
Sure, fair enough.
Anyway.
That was actually my pop, so he was a veteran, and
Right.
well, it was given to me, so
And we had to put it in the studio.
absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so how's everybody doing? Everybody good? Since we've talked last, what's been going on?
Yeah, it's been, what, like 4 days?
Yeah, it feels like a while.
It's been a minute. Once the weekend hit, it was like, wait a second.
I had the weekend off, which I never, ever get.
Fair enough.
So I went on the boat on Saturday, had a fantastic time. Actually went cliff diving because I was drunk enough. Hate heights. Don't know why I did it. Guess I was drunk enough.
How high up?
I really don't know. A lot higher than it looked from the boat. I was
Sure.
like, oh, I could totally do that. And I got up
It's
there, I was
always
like,
the case.
oh, my God.
Yeah.
And Kirsten's
You're a
actually
heavy
watching.
rock.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no skipping you. It is kerplunk.
The second time I jumped off, I'm pretty sure I know what circumcision feels like. I landed right on, or not circumcision, but castration. That's what I'm going for. I landed right on the right ball and thought I had ripped it off of my body.
That is nasty.
Yeah. Oh, it was horrible. Ugh. Dear Jesus. Hello, Taryn. Thank you. 60 feet, Kirsten. That's how high that cliff was? Didn't
There's
happen.
no way you jumped 60 feet.
Is that really 60 feet, or are you
No
drunk?
way.
I need to know the answer to this, because if that's 60 feet, I'm going to be bragging about that to
yeah, I'm actually like,
everybody.
that's pretty ballsy,
That's
dude.
impressive. If it was that high
Just
up,
Google,
son of a bitch.
where did I jump off of Saturday? And maybe
I
it'll
couldn't
pop
even
up
tell
for
you. I know it's somewhere between the Chickamauga Dam and Wolf Teaver, Highway 58 area. It's somewhere in there. It's a big-ass rock.
Either way, it was a good time.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure I can't have children anymore, which fixes both problems. Over my fear, and I don't need more kids, so this works out well.
That's a priority number one.
So, some new news that's kind of popped out since we've talked last. Have you heard about this one? Coca-Cola is doing away with Coke Zero. There will be no more Coke Zero ever again. It's gone.
I had heard that they were going to be doing a new formula.
Yeah, it's a new recipe.
So they were going to do a new recipe, and everybody's saying, did they not learn
from the new
Coke
yeah.
in the 80s?
Of course, that was before we were born, right? But I mean, new Coke, and they were like, but dude, that's doing away with Coke. You can't do that. Coke Zero, most people aren't really gonna miss.
Even though
It still worked, though.
most
did work,
people
yeah,
in
I
the
mean, no
taste
doubt.
test actually liked New Coke better. It was more about just people who hadn't tried it bitching about it.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
like
Hey, Pepsi Clear, though, right? I mean, shit.
I'm glad we
God.
kept it. Oh, speaking of new flavors, though,
Yeah,
we went and got ice cream Sunday like
we
children.
did. We did. We went to Clumpy's. If you are in Chattanooga and you ever pass up a chance to go to Clumpy's, there is something seriously wrong with you. It was amazing.
Oh yeah, and the people who follow us on Instagram know this already. They had whiskey ice cream,
Yes, they did.
See, I'm not a fan.
and
I don't
oh,
like
no,
whiskey.
it
I can't
was-
do whiskey. I'm a girl.
See, I
but-
love whiskey, and you cannot deny that.
Well, whiskey's great, but in
whiskey.
ice cream or like a Jack Daniel's flavored cake or something like that, I'm just not a fan. Like, let me drink it and let me make this
Yeah.
steak taste like steak.
Like
kind
a
of
rum
thing.
cake. I think it was Jim
Right.
Gaffigan that was like, who invented that? Like, oh, you know what this cake needs? Booze.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shot of liquor. No, like whoever. But
I
yeah.
will say you guys chose Clumpy's, but I am an ice cream show fan. Like it's my go-to,
What the hell is the ice cream show?
Well,
Why
this
do I
is-
not know about this?
and this is why you guys went to Clumpy's. If
Is
you're
that the place at the bridge?
At the bridge,
Top?
yeah. It
It's
is-
still Clumpy's.
nope, ice cream show, baby.
I don't know, man. Don't hate on Clumpy's.
I'm not saying Clumpy's is bad. I'm just saying ice cream show. I'm gonna walk across that bridge for that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right at the end of the on the downtown side of the Walnut Street Bridge,
Yep.
right? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You can't go wrong either way.
Never been there, but I've seen it. You know,
By
I
the way,
passed by on my way to Clumpy's.
Just real quick before we get too far away from the comment that was just made.
Yes.
Can we tell someone's culture by whenever they say I'm going to walk across the bridge, whether they're talking about coming from Hippie Land North Shore or coming from downtown? He just admitted he's walking from North Shore to downtown instead of the opposite way.
Oh no,
Like, does that say something about you if across the bridge
I'm
means
clearly-
from North Shore?
It says that I'm
clearly-
loyal.
are you talking about Chris or me? Because this is
People
Chris.
in general.
Tale of Two Cities right here. This is way more hippie.
I'm not hippie at all.
You're so much more hippie.
Okay, I think you guys
Hipster.
literally
There's a
have.
difference.
I'm not hipster at all.
More hipster. He didn't say you were a hipster.
I know.
Then
I
you guys
didn't-
are literally like misdefining people groups entirely. I don't pack my own cigs with a pipe. I don't wear anything from goddamn Bob Marley. I drive a goddamn BMW right now. Okay, there's nothing hipster about me.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys have totally misinterpreted that.
So-
But I do get what you're saying about what does it say about someone that's going to walk across a bridge when I could literally, it's so much closer to Clumpy's, but I literally am just like, nope, I'm going to walk across this fucking bridge to go get the ice cream that I know is great. Now, granted, we're all creatures of habit, but also it's like, I know this family story. I know how they started this company. Da-da-da-da-da.
I'm sorry. I love that. Whenever we're
Metro,
talking-
Nathan. Yes, Metro is a much better word for Chris.
Metro.
That
Metro.
is a
That's
much
not
better
better.
word.
I'm hipster. Fuck you, Nathan.
But no, I get what you're saying. Like, we were talking about this the other night with the
Yeah.
beer place.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather buy beer from the guy that I know is not a complete douchebag.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Treats
Yeah,
everybody
absolutely.
right. But at some point that leaves. Like, I'm not going to go like, where am I going to get ice cream? Well, you know what? I should walk the extra mile to go and get that ice
Yeah,
cream.
which
'cause I know-
completely defeats the purpose of eating ice cream. If you're going to go walk a mile, why go eat tofu?
Well,
or
it's like
something.
Well, no, you also
tonight
have
we
to
had to go and
understand
get
you're
beer.
downtown.
We had to go and get beer for the show.
Yeah.
Right. Party Mart. We said last week. Party
Hey,
Mart.
Boner is with us on Facebook Live. Boner.
Boner, come be with us in studio.
Yes.
Like right now. We need it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're
but-
failing miserably.
But no, like we were talking about Party Mart.
Yes.
Right? Okay. But I didn't walk to the Party Mart because I
because
like
you're
it.
in East fucking Ridge, dude.
Yeah, but the Party Mart's just down the street too. Like it's probably less than walking across the
Okay,
bridge from us
I
now.
think what we're talking about here is if you're downtown in any city,
Mm-hmm.
you have options.
That is true.
So that's what I'm saying. So
I'll
it's
give you
almost
that.
like hey, we're over here in the North Shore, and I know of one bar, and I'm going to mention their name, but it's like
cares?
the worst place to get drinks. It's expensive. It's bullshit. It's like, hey, nope. And it's like I will walk elsewhere to go for a better experience, kind of thing. So
Right.
yeah. Now, but I also get what you're saying when it comes to like maybe small businesses or local people that are actually genuine. It's like, hey, that dude owns that shit. I'm just gonna go there and support him for a straight shot of whiskey. I'm gonna rather go there than to a chain for sure any day. Like B Dubs, eat it.
Right.
I'm going to this guy.
I think there's a lot of things in life though that are that way. Like this is not going to be like a deep conversation, but no, there's a lot of things in life that are that way though. Like it's not that I'm not environmentally conscious. It's that if it's easier for me to use the product that is not environmentally conscious,
that's fair,
then I'm not going to go out of my way to do it. But if they're sitting right next to each other, the Greenworks and the regular Clorox are right next to each other, they work the same, they cost about the same, and they're right next to each other,
it's America.
then I'll get the
It's
Greenworks.
consumerism.
Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like just in everything in life, there's sometimes that you're just like, I'm not going to go out of my way for it.
dude. I never go out of my way for it. Like, there's never a time where the environment's like on my mind, top right. No, like I just.
There's literally a video of an elephant picking up trash and putting it in a garbage can, which should tell all of us everything we need to know about this fucking country.
Exactly. We're smart enough not to listen to somebody telling us to pick that shit up. He is. Fucking slaves.
It's an elephant.
I don't. Yeah, well, you are about to get cut off. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, you need to funnel more in.
I'm not
is the
talking
problem.
about the beer. I'm talking about the mic. We're gonna cut you off.
Yeah.
Like, this
that
is
could have
terrible.
gone a couple of ways.
It's
I get what you
no
mean.
direction
And
we
you know
wanna
what
go.
I'm going to say? It was all corporatism. We're all slaves to the system.
That's
what
what
we're
we're
hoping.
talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm
Good.
glad we cleared that up.
Thank God.
I mean, this is a dark podcast, but you just took
It's
it to
actually
a whole
not.
new
We're talking
level.
about ice cream.
No, I'm talking
We're
about in
talking
general.
about walks.
In
If
general.
you blanket rejected radio, it is not considered a kid-friendly podcast. It's pretty dark. You took it to levels that I don't even want to be at, and that's sad.
Not really. Not
Let's
yet. Not yet. We'll get there.
Let's see here. Tonight we're going to do our rejected radio drink of the day. We picked out a selection that I think is going to go over well. Remember last time we did the Not Your Father's Mountain Ale, which was pretty freaking good.
Yeah, it was just Mountain Dew, but
Yeah.
it was good.
And we did one on a kind of failed video experiment that never got seen, but we did the pineapple IPA, the Sweetwater.
Yes, it was pretty good too.
It was pretty good.
Recommendations on both of those. So tonight we're dipping back into the pineapple game. Another pineapple IPA, different brewery, but we'll get to that here coming up on the show. So here's where we take a turn, and we're probably going to lose a lot of viewers. Today is a holiday called National Orgasm Day.
Is it?
Yeah, really. Look it up. National Orgasm Day.
What is
It says
today?
it right there on the internet.
didn't
July,
Celebrate.
July 31st. I'm going to remember
Yeah.
it.
Says it right there on the internet. Got to be true. Al Gore put it there. Hats off, sir. Hope your efforts to fulfill the promise of the day goes better than these people. A man and two women in Germany had a threesome last week out on an apartment balcony, and that tight space led to some tough positioning decisions. The two women argued a little bit over where they were going to be, but eventually it seems they all found a comfortable place. But just as one of them was about to celebrate National Orgasm Day, she fell off the balcony, 10 feet to the ground, wound up breaking bones in her legs and feet when she
Oh,
landed.
she didn't die?
No, she's
A 10-foot balcony. How is that?
a 10-foot
That's
balcony.
like going out on your back porch in an apartment complex and just being like, hey, look at us. We have no regard for anybody. I'm thinking like 50 stories up, nice place, beach maybe, big city. They're on a 10-foot balcony.
So luckily, the other woman was concerned. She started screaming and ran down to help her. However, on her way down, she slipped and broke a couple of bones in her arm and her neck. So
Jesus.
both women rushed to the hospital. Worst threesome ever.
What about the other guy's bone?
I think he's good. I mean, he had to do some.
Right, the alleviate.
Yeah.
Classic.
He had to do some self bandaging, but he's good to go.
I'm kind of upset with this holiday because I haven't celebrated yet, and I'm pretty sure that we'll be in this podcast studio until the holiday's over. So,
Donnie Welburn is watching the podcast.
Donnie. Okay, Donnie. It's me. It's Mac. Dude, no, Donnie's my man. Donnie is my. I can't see you right now.
Oh, wait, time out on that,
Okay.
though. I'm sorry. Chris Pemberton with the comment that made this whole story great. He railed her. That's fantastic.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Well done,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you. Back to Donnie. Old
No,
coach.
Donnie's my man. Me and Donnie stay in touch. We probably communicate like once every month and a half, just like
Yeah.
a random Facebook blurb, like, "Hey, dude, what do you think about this?" Donnie's a smart guy, classic teacher, wrestler.
Yes.
We get along. So yeah, Donnie, you're the man. Glad you're watching.
Yeah.
This thing's going to crash and burn. So.
Donnie was my soccer coach freshman year of high school, okay?
Yes.
But he was kind of tied up in wrestling season. So our assistant coach was a guy named Dan Lyons, who I love. We're friends on Facebook. We keep in touch as well. And I'm a freshman in high school, and he was like, all right, guys, so Coach Wellborn's not here today. He's doing wrestling practice, so let's just run. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is the worst practice ever. So I walked up to him one day. I was like, all right, Coach, what are your qualifications? He's like, well, I played soccer in 3rd grade, and I coached last year. I was like, great.
That sounds like 90% of my baseball coaches.
Okay, here's something funny, though. I remember, because Sting graduated a little bit before me.
Yes.
And so I do remember watching a piece of Dan Lyons when he had his own show.
On the other hand.
The other hand. And so I remember that being a kid and be like, this teacher did this. Maybe we could do this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And it was a little bit more inspiration for us little shithead high school kids that wanted to get into, I guess you could call the arts, quote unquote.
We failed miserably a few times.
We actually didn't. If you look back at 16-year-olds before YouTube, we did a good job.
We really did. Yeah, we were running off a high 8 camera. Is that what it was called?
Oh yeah, I remember it took us. For, I would say, the 12 minutes that we would film, it would take us like 4 hours to render that. I remember being in your basement, and it was just like, all right, and it's rendering. I'm going to go to work, and I'll see you after basketball practice. And it was like, good.
I don't mean to interrupt y'all's story, but can we just talk about how this show is going? Because you had this idea about this stupid bit while we were getting beer. I was gonna pack a dip out.
You've been waiting on that the whole time.
No. I want it out of my lip. Like we had this idea that I was gonna use this stuff as a joke because I wanted jerky and they didn't have anything.
Reference what this is because everyone that's relatively our age knows what this is.
So when they got rid of candy cigarettes, we went to the powdered beef jerky dip in a can, right? Everybody remember that?
Dude, I remember that crap.
Most ridiculous stuff in the world. And I just said it because I was just being a tool, and I didn't know that you were actually going to buy it, nor to put this in your mouth throughout the whole show.
Dude, the first dip he put in his mouth, it was just like powdered meat. It was like the cinnamon challenge, but with beef jerky. It was just poof.
You could have tapped out a line and rolled with it.
It's disgusting.
You could have literally snorted that.
Yeah.
But the joke was I was going to pack it whenever the show started,
right.
and we were going to do a joke about that we can't smoke in here, so we do whatever. But then I put it in, and I'm over here just that's probably why this went so dark.
You do know
I was in pain.
That's got to be the shavings of however the hell they cut their meats before they go into packages. And it's this is the trimmings. And they just what can we do with this? And there was this one guy, some young buck, was like, hey, let's turn this into fake dip.
Jabbo, thanks for hanging out tonight, man. We miss you here, man. Wish you were here.
Classic Jabs.
Old Jabbo, man. Enjoy that guy. But yeah, absolutely, dude. And that guy got a promotion.
Oh, yeah. He's dead now, but then he was killing it. He was on top.
What do we do with this powdered meat substance?
He only did that so he could still be in the warehouse packing an actual dip.
Yeah.
And whenever the supervisors were like, what are you doing? It's jerky.
Yeah. I do remember my first and only dip.
Got a can of beef jerky.
Beef jerky dip.
God.
Jerky dip.
Dude, I remember my first dip. It was freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
In Mr. Stone's welding class. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know how to do any of it. I just remember peer pressure. They're like, hey, dude. And the thing was, it wasn't like I wanted to do it. I was, 5'5", soaking wet, like 112 pounds back then.
Why do you keep turning your mic off?
Because I'm chewing.
I
love how you get taller with water. Will you get heavier with water? You got taller.
Yeah,
You're
taller.
I'm 5'5",
soaking wet. Either way, I just remember doing this under peer pressure because I'm going to get beat up. And I just remember throwing up everywhere by the end of that class. Sitting on the bench, canceled lunch. Not I was going to eat anyways, but,
Sounds fantastic.
It was good. So dip is just, ugh.
Oh my
God! Good for you guys.
How long have we been rolling now?
Canceled lunch.
Oh wait, there you are. I got to mute you. My bad. So anyway, let's see what else we got to talk about as we roll through this here. Had a few things. Oh, dude, that's the Dick of the Day award. We got to hold off on that. So there's a bee shortage when they're now selling bees on the black market.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Do you have we not seen Bee Movie? You know what happens when we lose all the bees. You jackasses.
Well, apparently Einstein said when the bees go, like, world's getting close to some shit. So
Like Einstein knew what was going on.
yeah.
Yorkshire police investigating an incident in the UK where somebody has stolen and is selling 24,000 bees on the black market.
That's
24,000. They're worth about £2,000. Okay? Not a bad pocket.
For what, 24,000 bees?
Yeah.
That's it?
I mean, shit.
That's what,
Yeah.
$1 a bee?
I mean, you got to realize when you're going to buy them.
It's like $2,500 here.
You got to realize that when you...
No. Pound. How much was it? 2,000
The pound
pounds?
is still more valuable than the dollar, I'm pretty sure.
I think it is.
I thought he said 25,000 pounds.
No, 2,000 pounds.
Oh, yeah, that's
it's
only like
cheap as
2,500
shit. Yeah,
bucks.
it's nothing.
But still, I mean, you got to think half these bees are probably going to die.
We don't know how a bee works.
I'm pretty sure they're going to die.
I can call my buddy Mike. He
Yeah.
keeps bees, but he had a problem this year. Like they had
How
like
do you know people that keep bees? What the?
he had like
think it's awesome.
he's actually a regional chair for the LP, but he
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
but
man. Right?
he had like 13 hives going into winter, and I think only like 5 or 8 of them survived. So
Look, I'm not going to lie. In the last like 18 months, maybe 24,
Yeah.
I've been really getting into this whole idea of in my spare time homesteading very in the small pockets of my life. And so not necessarily beekeeping, because that seems like a massive fucking chore, but the little things like making your gardening, making your own vegetables, maybe even aquaponics, little things like that. I even thought about rabbits. You can breed rabbits and eat that shit all day. Now, granted, don't want to keep up with it. No. Why? Because I'm not living in Venezuela yet. So, but I like the idea
for the
of
record, I didn't
beekeeping.
take this here.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Well, we talked about bees. I'm just saying, why do people keep bees? I mean, who thinks like that? Those people do.
I mean, you know,
Well,
whatever.
he sells them. He has a farm.
Oh, yeah.
And he sells honey is one of his products that he sells.
Oh, that's
so
fantastic.
like he had like 13. I'll have to ask him to make sure I'm not saying it, but yeah, like apparently there's a problem with like climate change, whether you believe in warming or cooling or
Sure.
whatever. Apparently, it
Al Gore
confuses.
invented the internet. He's probably right about that too. Let's be honest.
No matter what, we
it
all know
confuses
that
them on
bees
their
are dying.
It confuses them on their hibernation schedule and stuff. So like they'll come out early on accident, and then half of them will freeze because then there'll be a second frost that they weren't.
Didn't you hate all
expecting and
that
stuff
coming
like
out
that.
early?
What's that called? A blackberry frost? Is that what our grandparents would call it?
Blackberry winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Gosh, look at us. We're actually smart, guys.
I don't really. I mean, we can't finish the statements on our own, but when you put the three of us together, holy shit!
Hey, dude, I'll
They're
take it.
unstoppable. Anyway, so let's see here. Let's take a break. You want to?
Yeah,
I feel like we've been rolling pretty steady for about, 30 minutes.
29 minutes in live.
Really?
23 minutes
29?
in.
Really? It's been so we're at the halfway point.
We're 29 minutes in live, 23 minutes in recorded. So that means 23 minutes actually on air.
That's
So-
fair. I mean, I feel like it's
I
a
don't
good
make
point.
these decisions, so.
We got to try new beer, so that's coming up.
That's gonna be
The
fun.
drink of the day is on its way. What else do we have to do as we roll on?
There's a couple other subjects we wanted to bring up.
Yes,
I don't wanna
obviously,
ruin it.
Obviously, we're going to be handing out the Dick of the Day award. That is of mucho importance.
Yep.
It happens every show. Let's see. We're going to talk about.
Now, are we bringing in those kids from nationals for that made the finals for the Flag Day or the prayer at the pole or whatever?
Bringing them in?
Yeah, to pray. Remember that shit when when people would go pray around their flags at the beginning of the school year?
You're a terrible individual.
I'm just saying. I think that shit's hilarious. Hey guys,
I just did the mic.
let's
sorry.
all, if you want to come pray around a pole, get in groups.
Wow.
And then we wonder what happened to the Boy Scouts. We got them all around a pole.
This is taking.
See, again, I didn't take it there.
God, this is a perfect time to stop and pray. So I think we better do so. So you guys hang out with us. Going to be back in about, 5 or 6 minutes with the second half of the Rejected Radio podcast right here on Facebook Live. Stick around.
Constantly offending all 0 of our sponsors. This is the Rejected Radio podcast. Do you know coke addicts that have destroyed their septum will sometimes get a friend to blow coke up their butt? Well, nobody on the Rejected Radio podcast has the money for cocaine, so it doesn't matter. Back back to the Rejected Radio podcast.
Oh my God, this is great. My mic is muted as we go.
Your mic.
Producer John over there working for free. Thank God. Anyway,
I need labels over here.
You do. We need to label that board up a little bit.
The board's not labeled, and then having the 3 secondary mics and
Yeah,
not knowing
right.
which one's which half the time.
No doubt. Rejected Radio podcast. Josh in here as well as Mac. He is here as well.
What's up?
Producer John over there running the 1 and 2s.
Hi.
Yeah. So anyway, we're hanging out. Boner will be back with us. Talked to him today. So
Yeah,
will
when's he
be
coming
joining us
back?
very soon. Hopefully this week.
Oh, that's
I'm hoping we
fantastic.
can nail it down this week.
Yes.
If not, next week for sure we will have the Bone with us and kind of get back to where we started this whole thing. New place. Hey, and I hope you guys like the studio, man. This thing has come together quite nicely. I am enjoying the scenery and. What? Oh, the Bogus Bijou Studios.
Yeah,
yes, of
yeah,
course,
yeah, there we
of
go.
course.
Yeah.
I need to get a big sign that says, "Hey, say Bogus Bijou." So I'll remember to do that. Promotion. Anyway, so hey, a lot of cool things going on. So obviously you're joining us on Facebook Live. We appreciate that. We're going to be doing the Facebook Live a lot. So we appreciate you hanging out here. But you can also find Rejected Radio on plenty of other platforms, including Google Play Music now. We are on Google. We're going to hit iTunes very, very soon with a brand new
I
and
actually
improved.
just got the email
Yes.
about 35 minutes ago.
Okay.
That we should be live on iTunes.
Very cool. So we
Now, I
should be
haven't
on now.
tested that yet, so this is completely off the cusp, but we did get the email that we
Awesome.
are supposedly live. And also on Stitcher.
And Stitcher, yes,
Really?
as well. So if you are on Stitcher, if you're a podcast fan, you're on Stitcher. Basically, you can listen to the same show anytime that we're doing on Facebook Live. But obviously, people come and go. You can listen to the full shows on any of those platforms as well.
Right, and the idea that we're doing for you guys is, and this is simply because this is a conversation with
Yeah.
with the fans. Really, this is a bullshit show. We just sit around, we talk about bullshit stuff, and you guys are a big part of it. So the idea is, if you want to take part in the live shows, turn on your notifications, follow the pages, and whenever we go live, you're going to see it in social media that we're about to go live. You're going to see it whenever we go live. It's going to pop up and say, "Hey, Rejected Radio just came live. Come hang out with us," whatever. Then if you're just wanting to listen to it at work and you're wanting to listen to it on your way to work,
Because
or,
we're clearly work friendly.
hey, in headphones, But,
NSFW.
yeah, if you're wanting to do that kind of thing, then find us on iTunes. We're not on SoundCloud anymore because they're about to go the way of the dodo.
Yes.
But we're on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. And then you can watch us, listen to us whenever you want.
Yeah, and you can find us on YouTube as well. Just search Rejected Radio. Joe Cross, you guys need to have a place to have a live studio audience. That's a great idea. Looks like outside of everything that we're working with here, we have approximately 3 extra chairs in the room, so we
Yeah.
could put your ass in one of those chairs, Joe. We'll get with you on possibly doing that at some point in time. And we're also talking about taking the show live. I don't want to spill the beans on where just yet, but we're talking about actually doing a Rejected Radio kickoff party for the new big premiere of the show with myself, Boner, McNelly, producer John, Sammy, Jabbo, the whole Rejected Radio crew that's kind of in and out and, have the same warped sense of humor as every one of you people listening. So we're working on getting that together, and details will be coming very, very soon on that as well. So, hey, Corey, thank you so much for hanging out, man. Of course, I'm not going to leave you without a shout-out, so thank you so much for watching. So what do you say, the rejected drink of the day? Do we go ahead and go there?
Yeah, let's go before they get
Do we do
hot.
it?
Yes, please.
Hey, you're going to have to open them for us on
Here.
our new
You get that one since you're too far
opener.
away. Yeah, and check this out. Our new
Your
beer
mic
opener.
down. Just
Go
move
ahead
your
and-
mic
Oh,
down.
Go
move
ahead
my
and
mic down. Okay, there we go.
Go ahead and show them, though.
There we go. That's our new opener, courtesy of Sammy and our friends at Cheddar's. Thank you so much for that. Dude, love that place. If you have not checked out Cheddar's up around the Hamilton Place Mall area, I would definitely recommend doing so. That place is the shit.
It's like a classy Chili's, It's like
Wow.
it's like such a classy. When I go there, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get the chicken fingers and fries.
You guys are going to have to stop letting me open mine first.
That
just
is
for
the worst
record,
plug ever.
like,
Cheddar's, just come eat.
Is this thing even meant for opening beer?
I told you, dude, you didn't do it right.
I don't think I did. Wait, there we go.
Yay! Hey-o!
All right, right, so the
Right.
I used the wrong end.
the rejected drink of the day. This is a limited release, and by the way, consider this a public service because we've all been in the gas station before going, that sounds good, but do I really want to pay $11 for this 6-pack that I might not like? Well,
Let's be blunt. If you're from where we grew up, no.
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 It's
$12 if your friend makes you buy a can of meat, whatever that shit was.
Yeah. For the meat powder.
This right here is the Aloha Traveler. It is a pineapple shanty. And this stuff...
I'm not a fan of sweets either. Y'all know this from last week.
I know, you're not a fan of sweet beer.
I think this might pan out because it's a beer.
It's a beer. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Well, let's
everybody
cheers.
in. Let's cheers it. All right.
Mighty Ducks.
Need a room
you go.
camera?
Flying V.
So,
Yeah.
let's bottoms up.
Oh, God. That is
that's
way too sweet.
Yeah. I mean, if you like a sweet, fruity beer...
That's like
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even taste it because I have other beer and that
it tastes
I
like
just drank.
it tastes like a watered down sweet tart. I'm gonna be honest.
So of the two that we've
You know
tried
what? Let's take
so
it back.
far-
Let's take it back. Right now. Let's go live. Let's get an extension cord and take this shit back.
Take it back to
Yeah.
This tasted like ass.
It's not. It's just like
I'll drink it.
It's
You
not-
guys, yeah, have at
I
it.
mean, I'll drink it. I'm a...
So if you're out there and you have been wondering about the Traveler Beer Company and their
Well,
limited
don't
release
don't
pineapple
hit
shandy,
the whole beer company off of one beer though.
no,
Yeah,
not
you
the whole
can't
company.
judge.
I'm just saying their pineapple shandy. If you're not a fan of sweets and you're not a fan of that tart bite, then maybe this isn't your cup of tea.
So
Corey,
out of-
next time try Voodoo. What is... Why do I feel like this is probably going down a bad path? What is Voodoo? Give me some more
Where'd
info,
you get
Corey.
it?
Yeah, and where did you get it? We need to know that, too.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's saying from this beer company, let's try the Voodoo.
I don't know if that's what he's
no,
saying.
Voodoo is a brewery.
I think it
but
is, yeah.
They have multiple brews. So what are you wanting us to
Yeah.
try? Which brew?
We're open to anything because we like beer.
No. Question
What's
though.
the alcohol by volume, by the way?
4.4 on this.
That's weak.
Okay, look up the Sweetwater for the other and see where the alcohol level is on that.
I don't
And
really
then-
care. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, hands down, I think if it came to the Aloha Traveler Pineapple Shandy or the
Going Coastal.
Sweetwater Going Coastal, which is the Pineapple Shandy from Sweetwater,
Right.
I'm going Sweetwater because it was beer with a little bit of a pineapple aftertaste. This is like pineapple with really no beer flavor whatsoever.
Yeah, theirs was an IPA. I think that's the difference. I think that one was more beer.
Try any of the Voodoo brews. They're 7% by volume.
So in other words, he's just trying to get us drunker than we already did.
Yeah, right? This show's going nowhere fast.
Sorry, I was taking a selfie.
That's fine. I didn't go to you. Oh, that's hard. That's hard to drink.
I mean,
It's a bit tart, man. I'm telling you, it's a bit tart.
I'm going to suffer through them.
No.
Dude, I watched you
it's
drink,
not-
4 of those goddamn,
Not your father.
not your Mountain Dew last week?
Hey,
Jesus.
I could
dude.
drink 6 of those though.
They were good.
Those were okay. So we need to put a board. Have you ever watched the show Top Gear?
Who hasn't?
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever they do the big star in a small car,
Yeah.
we need to have a board of all the beers that we've tried or all of the drinks. That's
sure.
the other thing is we're doing the rejected drink of the day. So all
Yeah.
of the drinks that we've done, we need to have a ranking system
We do.
of some sort.
So
So let's go ahead and put this
Straight
at
to the damn bottom.
Yeah, I'm gonna say bottom. I'm
Scale
gonna take
of 1
a
to
sip.
10. Let's.
1.
What's our gauge though? Like, what are we rating this on?
Would you buy it again?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty much the gauge. I mean,
Yeah, great question, great answer. No.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is like,
Right.
okay, if all beers were created equal price wise, okay, let's do it this way. I would
Jesus.
say this would be my thing. If all beers were created equal price wise, so it's $10 for a 6-pack, no matter what it is. Let's just put Natty Light. We'll go ahead and say that's like a 5. Like you would buy it, but like if you had a choice, if everything was the same price, you buy it.
I feel like this is unfair because we've done mostly craft beer since we started doing this, and I feel like that's unfair.
Dude, if that was the case, I'd be going Lagunitas IPA all day.
Well, then we have to try that on the show.
Yeah. Have y'all ever had it?
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10,
guess
all
not.
beers are created equal. Scale of 1 to 10. I would buy this again depending on the situation.
Hey, why don't we go ahead and ask for suggestions on beer of like, hey, what do y'all think we should try?
Well, we got the Voodoo from Corey.
We got Voodoo, and let's see what people say, and we'll try them out. And maybe we have a running
I'm going to put a post. I'm going to go right now. I'm going to put a post on the Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody comment the beer that you would like us to do. Mm-hmm. Whatever gets the most likes, we'll do next week. And then down from there, so just like the comment.
Big flats.
I'm going to put a poll up. You can add your own. Be gentle with what you put on there. But we're going to add a poll. Put your own beer on there. People voted up. Whatever gets voted up to the top, we'll try. Whatever voted up to the second, we'll try that next.
Let me give you the final verdict on this for me. Sorry, I messed up my camera, too. I'm like...
And go up. And you're pretty good there. You're
I'm
pretty
good
good
there.
there. You got a little bit of James Dean. You got that sexy hat going on.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and just show them the poster that you love?
Oh yeah, I do.
Just show them and why.
While you're fixing the camera anyway.
This is the shit. I love this poster.
And that is a Banksy poster. So for any of you who have been to New York and know New York, relatively decent. Banksy is a street artist, and that is some of his street art, obviously turned into a poster, and it says "Follow Your Dreams," but it's been canceled. So
I didn't even realize we halfway
up.
I'm working on it, bro.
The logo is
Over.
based on that. And
Other way.
Yep.
that's actually
there,
one of
right
the.
there. That's good.
Okay.
That's actually one of the pieces that I used whenever I was doing the logo of what to make it look like.
The Banksy? Yeah.
The
So it's
Rejected
funny,
Radio.
I didn't even realize they put two and two together that the Rejected
Thank you,
Radio
Banksy.
contact was on there.
So here's my final verdict, and we'll move on from the drink of the day. The Aloha Traveler.
The low hard.
The yellow hard.
The Blowhard Traveler. Would I buy it again? Yes, depending on the situation. If I was like mowing the grass and it was a
The only
hot summer day
situation
and I
where-
wanted something refreshing,
No.
I could handle this.
I'd
And
buy
this
Natty
is the
Light.
only alcohol that was available, of course.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I would buy Natty Light before I bought that.
See, I wouldn't. There's times
I
where I
would too,
enjoy.
because a Natty Light you can get like what 12 for the
No,
price of
I'm
this.
saying price equal. I
Oh,
would buy a
same
6-pack
equal.
of Natty Light before.
No
I
way.
bought it.
Again, deep down in my bones, I'm still white trash. And so when people ask
Fair
me,
enough.
yeah, people ask me like, "Hey, what do you want to drink?" It's like, "Well, just give me a whiskey straight, or give me a beer." And like, well, what do you, like? So those craft beer people, I think we talked about this last week. All those the snobs that talk about their craft beers.
Beer
And, like,
snobs, yeah.
yeah, no one gives a shit. Like
Right.
if you gave me a Stroh's from what is now Food City, aka Bilo.
Mm-hmm.
I remember eating or drinking a warm Stroh's after a hard day at work. I would take that any day over this shit. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's like coffee. People are like, hey, what's in your coffee? And I think you're a little bitch, even though we grew up literally next door to each other. It's like, give me black coffee.
I'll drink black coffee.
Okay, says the guy who's going to pour a pound of sugar in it.
Hey, I've sat here and drank black coffee with you.
Then let's do it again tomorrow.
Fine.
do
Done.
it.
I'll do black
Let's
coffee.
do it tonight.
We're probably going to need some after this.
Yeah.
So back in high school, back in school, when you got a bad grade on your report card, what's the most extreme thing you ever did to hide it from your parents? Do you ever forge their signature on the report card?
I'm not going to lie. I think this is three men who had no consequences for their grades. I did not. My parents were
I'm not-
ghosts.
I can't.
So
I can't go into this because, as you know, my backstory.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I kind of forgot it at this point.
Yeah, you
but-
forgot. But
so it's the complete opposite.
no,
Okay, never mind.
I don't want to
Well, sure,
air
no
it
one
in
wants to
public to an
divulge.
Ooh,
extent.
I'm sorry. We're on a delay. So Kirsten just said there's a place in Ottawa that has a peanut butter flavored beer.
That's disgusting. Just
We're gonna
fucking
try it.
Eat it.
We're gonna try it. It's gonna
I don't
happen. I'll go
And
there and get some.
Apparently, we can't put a poll on the page. You can do it on a group, but you can't do it on
Peanut butter beer.
Be
God.
looking for a community group because I think that's what we need.
It's going to happen. Peanut butter beer. Anyway, no, I didn't necessarily have after my parents got divorced, I didn't have consequences because my mom was just like, whatever.
Sure.
And
how old are you? Like what, 10?
Yeah, 10 or 12.
Yeah, 10, 11, 12, something like that.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
whatever. Back when school actually mattered, then I got to high school and it just all went out the window.
Sure.
But yeah, there's a kid in Germany, 10-year-old boy, apparently with high expectations of himself. He got a C on his report card.
Okay.
And instead of taking it home to his parents, he fled to Switzerland.
Jesus Christ. Dude, talk about expectations, man.
Oh my God! He was found in the Swiss city of Basel.
I'm not getting into gymnasium.
I don't think that was German.
No, that's like a level school system they have. They don't call it, middle school and high school.
Let's see. Trained personnel alarmed the federal police on Friday evening about a boy traveling by himself. His parents had already told local police in their hometown that their son had gone missing. Needless to say, they were grateful that their son was found, and they were happy to be reunited with him on Saturday. Don't think he got his ass beat for the report card as much as he did for the running to Switzerland.
Hey, let's be blunt though. If he made it to Switzerland and could figure that out, like what a great country to live in. I'll be blunt.
That is true.
Great country.
I've never felt the need to run
Ever?
that far away.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of times where they were like, I'm pregnant. And I was like, hey, Switzerland sounds pretty good this time of year. But I don't necessarily know that when it comes to, your report card, that was up on my priority list.
Sure. I think it's his parents' fault. So
yeah, I mean, we really didn't have consequences, though. They were just like, if you turn out,
dude,
if you cook fries for the rest of your life, hey, whatever.
Well,
you chose that.
That's a reflection of our parents, not necessarily us. But let's be blunt. Remember a certain occasion and this is how white trash we grew up. we were in your car,
yes,
with a certain dad, and then a certain individual that liked a certain someone that you liked.
I don't even know where you're going with
they literally fought you and this dad.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I was in the back seat the whole time. And again, I'm a child. I was the youngest of anyone ever. I still am to this day, for the most part. No matter where I go in this country, for some reason, all my friends are like 3, 4, 5 years older than me. And I just remember I took a table leg so we picked a table up for your mom that day. And I just remember you getting beat up along with this person's
He never
dad.
hit me.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
And again, I just remember...
Can we
segue into the UFC fight now?
Yeah. I just remember taking this little cork leg, table leg, and I was just like, well, I'm just going to hit him with the table leg. Sent this dude to a hospital, and then police showed up. You actually got out of Dodge along with this fucking dad, and I got in trouble for all of it. But because I was a minor, they were like, hey, this dude who you hit in the head with a table leg is not pressing charges because he's 21. I was like 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, so welcome to our hometown.
Well, like, the thing is like, and like I said, I don't want to get into a lot.
Sure.
Like, whatever. But I essentially lived on my own from the time I was 15.
Absolutely.
Right.
I moved in with my step-grandfather, who was not legally my grandfather anymore.
Nice.
And this guy, he is currently 75 years old, acts like he's still 30.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how this guy is.
Still a decent relationship?
Oh, no. Me and him were great.
That's
like,
awesome.
That's not the
Good,
problem.
good.
But I moved in with him, and essentially whenever I moved in with him, there was circumstances to why I had to. That I don't want to go. That's what I don't
Absolutely.
want to
No,
but anyway,
none of us are going into details here.
No.
Yeah.
So anyway, whenever I moved in with him, he essentially told me, look, I'm not going to be your parent.
I'm going for another one.
It's like, you have a room, you have a key,
Right.
you have a car. Don't get someone pregnant, and don't drop out of school.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I ask. If
Then
you drop
you got
out of
somebody
school,
pregnant.
then help me. No.
That was you, dude.
I was I was about to say, that wasn't me by any means. I was 21 whenever I had my first kid. But anyway.
It's pretty standard in the South.
But so, like, for a lot of things,
It is.
I got pulled over multiple times at 16 being out at 3 o'clock in the morning because, like, we have a curfew in Georgia for people who are outside of the state. But the thing was, like, by the time I turned 21, I was done drinking. Like, I had already been there, done that, bought the T-shirt, like everything else. So I lived out, like, whatever.
Valid.
But I had friends that I would go over to their houses on weekends and, like, we would do this whole slumber party deal, like hanging out overnight, whatever.
Like a big sausage fest?
Exactly.
Yeah, me and my friends, we were in college. We'd have a
No,
slumber
but I had
party.
friends that we would go over to their house, and literally their parent one time was just like, John, we've got to talk. And I'm like, why? And they're like, you're leaving our house at like 2:30 in the morning sometimes, and like, what do your parents think of this? And I'm like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Daddy John's going to be fine.
But like, there's a lot of stories that will eventually come up in the show that
Did
are
you ever
like
watch
that.
like Sam Elliott films and just get fucking encouraged?
Oh no, we had
What, dude? He's like
No.
the father of fathers, man.
Jackass was the thing.
Jackass, really?
So like Jackass was still the thing on television at the time, and we
my
had
Which makes sense, of course.
We had a mini DV camera and a bunch of dumb idiot teenagers. And you know how they say do not submit things because we won't watch
Yeah.
them? We never submitted anything because we knew they wouldn't watch them, but we recorded that dumb shit.
So let me tell you one of my favorite stories, and I don't know how we got down this road, but I like being here. Let me tell you one of my favorite stories, and I don't know if you were there or not, Chris. I can't remember. I want to say
chance.
you were, but I could be wrong. So we had a buddy, and I'm not going to name names, but he played tennis in high school, and I think you know who I'm talking about at this point. Yes, and his dad was a whole lot of fun. All right, and
How to know you come from the poor white neighborhood whenever you're like, he played tennis, and you're like, yeah, I know the one guy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he played anyway. His dad was cool as hell, and so
Same dad that night. Same fucking
No,
dad.
no. Different dad. We'll talk about this off air. But anyway, so
Wait. I'm putting two and two together.
anyway,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, different dad.
Yeah.
but we go over to his house at like 16, 17 years old and just get schnockered, right? I mean, he would be like, "Hey, you guys want Jaeger bombs?" We're like, "Oh, fuck yeah, yeah, of course we do." So,
Thanks, Dad.
dude meets this girl online, okay, and at that time that was still kind of in that creepy phase where you probably shouldn't meet girls online.
Definitely creep.
But he was like, "Hey, let's go pick her up, Dad. She's into me, whatever." So
God.
we drive like 35 miles to go get this chick, right? And
Okay,
bring her
can I
back.
stop you? I was not
You weren't there for this
I
one?
was not there, but now I remember you telling me all this because this was a shit show.
Oh, it was horrible.
Shit show.
So we drive 35 miles to go pick this chick
I'm
up, all right?
Chris
We get
Hansen.
back, and we're hanging out, we're partying, we're drinking beer, we're playing pool, whatever at this house. And so he takes the girl and disappears with her, right? And I'm like, okay, well, the kid. Yeah, my buddy.
I was about to say his name.
Not his dad. But no, so our buddy disappears with this guy. So anyway, or with this girl. At least so we think. I
You
don't know.
took it there, not me.
Sorry. But anyway, so disappears with her. And his dad and I keep drinking, right? And we actually make our way out to the front porch, and we're sitting there, and I think at this point we're sipping on whiskey, okay? And we're sitting on the front porch, smoking cigarettes, sipping on whiskey, and all of a sudden he busts out of the front door, and he's like, "Dad, she's in my bedroom. She wants to do it. I need a condom."
Wow.
And I'm like, "Dude, all right, high fives are flying."
Sure.
He's like, "I don't have a lot of time. Let's not celebrate now." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So his dad goes in. He's like, "I think I got you covered, son." Right? So he goes in his bedroom and he's searching through all these drawers, and there's not a condom to be found in this house. Okay.
Wow.
But
Says a lot about his parents.
I notice on the nightstand in his dad's bedroom is a sampler pack of Viagra. Here's how my mind works when I'm just blitzed. I'm like, okay, you might not have a condom, but if
you
you take
got
one of
Viagra.
these, you're never going to get there because your sex drive is right where it needs to be, and we're probably going to have to call a doctor after 4 hours.
There's no one at 18 that figured that out. There's
So I'm like, "Dude, take this." He's like, "I don't have anything to take it with." I'm like, "Here's my beer." Probably still not a good combination.
Nope.
Again, at the time, we had parental supervision, so I was waiting on him to step in at some
Sure.
point. Never happened. So,
Yeah, wait, let me send the camera over. Supervision.
yes. So he disappears again, all right? So we're like, all right, he's having a great night, whatever. And I'm sitting here with this 50-year-old man drinking. My night's
2 hours
clearly
later,
not
he's
as
like,
good.
"Dad, what's wrong with my wiener?"
He comes
Yeah.
back down. He's like, "Give me a beer." I'm like, "How was it, dude?" He's like, "She's pissed at me." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Because I couldn't get there." Dude had rounded every base, but he could not slide into home. All right, and like,
Wait. What do you mean? Like he still couldn't get it up, or he couldn't?
He couldn't finish.
And
she was like, "Screw you, this sucks."
that's not a terrible thing.
He still slid into home. He just got called back on a technicality.
Yeah.
Either way. So I'll never forget that story because I was the dick friend.
He
that gave
ran
him
in,
Viagra.
and then they called it a ground rule double.
Yeah.
He was there.
And bring it back.
Yeah,
Bring it
exactly.
back.
She had a great night. Him, not so much. Not so much.
Even
why was
still,
she
though.
pissed?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think she probably was.
I don't know. He said she was pissed. It might have just been him being butthurt. But anyway, it
There's
was
a
still
great
like,
line from Parks and Rec where Ron Swanson and Tammy won. Or an argument. And
There's a great, that's just a great show. You didn't even have to say there's a great moment. Just
Tammy one says, "Oh yeah, well I faked it 4 out of the 7 times," and Ron goes, "Me too." I was like, "That's gold, man. That's good. That's good writing."
But
So good for your friend.
poor him.
Well, I guess
felt so
because
bad
I
for him.
still have.
She never called him back. So,
Of course.
whatever.
I think if I called my dad today or was somewhere with him and said, "Dad, I need a condom," I feel like he would immediately shut down.
I feel like he'd pray for you.
I don't think he would do that. I feel like he would be like, I feel like he would say okay, and he would leave the room, get in his car, and drive to a Barnes and Noble. You know?
Yes.
Like, I feel like that's what he would do. Rather than just being like, "Oh, here's a condom. You're an adult." You know?
It's so true.
So,
Good
yeah.
God.
Parents, man.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But welcome. Hey, mute your phone, bro. I'm hearing your phone. Jesus, Pete. Good Lord.
I was about to say, I don't think that's...
It's the second strike on producer John so far.
oh well.
Yeah.
Second strike. All right. So how long have we been live this time, producer
I'm going to
John?
go with 17 minutes.
We are recording for 57 minutes. The problem with that is we got to cut out that 10-minute break. So we got about 20 more minutes.
Another 20 minutes to kill? Sure, we can
Hey,
do that.
but real quick, though, because I did want to bring this up today, because I wanted to bring it up at some point, but it's going to get late.
Y'all want to hear me eat chips?
Anyway.
Wow. That's terrible.
So we were talking about this last night. UFC 214 was last night, right?
Yeah.
Or night before last. And that John Jones kick.
Yeah.
And but my question was not necessarily to that. That was a great fight, like the knockout, whatever. But the problem with it was whenever he came back up, he did not remember anything that had happened.
Of course he didn't. Dude kicked the shit out of him. Look,
He was like calling the fight. He was like calling everybody out, like, "You guys stopped it. Nothing even happened. I didn't get knocked out. What the fuck are you talking about? When did I get knocked out?" It wasn't until he saw the replay that he was like, "Oh shit."
I get the belt was on the line. Like, I totally understand that. But Big John should have called that thing before the 19 punches were thrown. Dude was out.
There was 19 punches on the floor, I think, was the final count.
I think that's right. Dude was out. There should have never been a time where he got hit 19 more times. Like,
I'm sorry, but anyone that knows that sport, as long as Jones isn't on fucking cocaine, the dude's gonna win. Even
He made
if
USADA this time.
is on cocaine. So,
I mean,
it just doesn't matter.
That I go there just to segue into the last part real quick before we have to go. But he called out Brock Lesnar at the end of it.
Yes,
He
I
did.
noticed that.
So, like, I know you are a wrestling fan and a Brock Lesnar fan, for that matter.
not so much, but okay.
Well, I'm talking about in UFC. You've talked
In UFC,
about you've talked about how you like these guys like CM Punk who went over and stuff. Even though CM Punk had
again,
a
that's
bad
arguable.
thing.
I think
had a bad time.
Lesnar's great for the sport.
I agree. Let's back this train up a little bit. I'm a CM Punk fan because of his personality. Dude has a fantastic personality. He obviously did have some skills that could have parlayed over into UFC pretty well. However, he again, and this goes back to the Mayweather-McGregor fight that we talked about, he was again conditioned to fight in a fake way, and all the wrestling fans be, "Oh my God, it's not fake." Okay, a lot of it is, but. Great question, Joe. We'll get to that. Before we get off the air. But CM Punk, again, so used to the fake style of wrestling, I don't think it really relayed when he actually got in the octagon. Even though he had some of the skills that could have worked for him. Same thing with McGregor. Mayweather, you're asking McGregor, who is used to the ground and pound more than just fists, to step in the ring with Mayweather and play Mayweather's game. That's an unfair
advantage. This makes the same point of when Lesnar actually lost, because his skills didn't translate over just yet. It doesn't mean they haven't, but in the beginning...
But how he got... In most of the fights that he's lost, because there's more than one, in most of them, he's been submitted. And,
That's what I'm saying.
The thing is like, just because of the way he is...
They were technical, not KOs. So.
Well, and it's partially to do with his body size, because the way he's shaped... He's very large. It's hard for him to move in. I had this is off topic, but it is on topic. I have to tell you guys this. There was a guy that worked, and he's local, so sorry if I offend anybody, but there was a guy who worked at our high school that was a coach. And he was also an aide for the blind gentleman who was the blind student. Okay, so he was the aide that would walk him around class, whatever. Because in Georgia, if you're a coach, you also have to have some other real job. I'm not saying coach isn't a real job, but
I get what
you have to have another job.
Right.
So he's like the weightlifting coach.
Okay.
And this guy, the blind guy, was in chorus whenever I was in chorus. So like they would come in and he would have to go in with him.
Chorus.
Yeah.
Holy Jesus.
Anyway, so like this guy.
You make it so hard not to tool on you.
Go ahead. I don't care.
I can't.
No,
I
let's
won't.
finish this story first.
Anyway, so this guy, he's a professional bodybuilder.
Yeah.
The guy was so big that he had to have a flip phone. This was whenever normal phones were like coming of time and everything else.
Right.
He was like, I don't know what I'm going to do without my flip phone. Because he was so big, he couldn't reach his own ear. He had to flip the phone open, hold it by the bottom, and then put it up to his ear, and then
really
shrug to hold the phone up to his ear.
Nothing wrong with chorus. Thank you, Jonathan, for defending him. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's my buddy. He was in my quartet. But anyway, this guy was so big that it's that way. I feel like Lesnar's the same way in a lot of ways. He's so built in a lot of areas that there's some movements that like somebody like McGregor, who's skinny, can get into those movements, whereas Lesnar can't.
Can I make a prediction? McGregor is going to trump this fight.
I don't think McGregor's going to win.
I think he is.
We've had this
being
discussion,
age. Mayweather's all defense. Pacquiao and him were a great fight. Reason being is they were around the same age. They were around the same skill
he's all
level.
defense, so he's gonna drag that fight out.
Exactly.
McGregor's gonna get tired.
I don't think he is. I think McGregor, at his age, he's in his peak physically. If he trains properly, people think, again, what does that mean, tired? I think he's probably putting himself in a position to be so, he understands the only way he loses this is fatigue.
You've got McGregor coming into this. You've got McGregor, he's going to have 16-ounce gloves on he's never had on before. He's going to be wearing shoes. Mm-hmm. Like he goes into he's going to go in and go, what the fuck am I doing?
Okay, you're also talking about professionals.
So,
you're also talking about professionals. This is something this is something that is so easily it has to translate. It's almost like taking someone in the college profession that is here's something. This is my take on it. He's either going to be a Jimmer Fredette in NCAA basketball. He's going to be who's a great college player that never translated to the pros in football. He might, so that's where it is. It's
Jamarcus Russell. Let's keep going.
Vince Young. Like, where does it translate? I think Conor McGregor is so disciplined in his training that we're overlooking the fact that this guy's actually probably put himself in a position to really do well in the boxing realm. And
this is the part that I'm gonna end on.
Okay.
The only thing that I think that McGregor has over them, and this is something that Joe Rogan was talking about, so I'm kind of stealing it from him.
Sure.
This is the first fight Mayweather's ever been in where he can literally say, like, there was McGregor went up and made a comment to Mayweather the other day, like, if this was a real fight, I'd kill you. And this is the first fight that Mayweather's ever been in that he knows that's true. Like, if it was an MMA fight, there's a legitimate chance, like, if they caught each other on the street or something like that,
McGregor would just destroy him, yeah.
McGregor would destroy him. The question is not about which one would be a better fighter. The question is which one is going to be a better boxer, which one's going to have the technical. And I think Mayweather wins that with experience. So anyway, I'm going to go back to Josh. I understand
that, absolutely.
And get off this, but
we're not getting off it totally. We're about to wrap things up. But here's a question that Joe just posed on Facebook, and I actually like this idea. So we're talking about Jones versus Lesnar. We're talking about McGregor versus Mayweather. We're talking about the big fight feels and how big those two fights will be. Here's the question: Jones versus McGregor. Joe just posted this.
No one would ever consider that.
You don't think they would?
No. McGregor is 4 feet tall and Jones is Shaq.
Agreed. But still,
no.
Happen.
Again, it's like
it would still be a good.
No, it's not. It's like comparing LeBron James to Stephen Curry. You can't. You just can't.
The only way that you will see a McGregor-Jones fight is if you see a McGregor-Tyron Woodley fight first.
Okay, that's fair.
Because he's got to go through welterweight. That being said, because you're having him fight up 2 weight classes, and the thing is with the MMA, like the weight classes are so far apart that it's really kind of ridiculous. They need more because you're going from 175 or 185 at welterweight to 205.
Right.
And then that's for light heavyweight. Then to go to heavyweight, which is what John Jones is talking about right now, fighting up to Brock Lesnar.
David.
yeah.
David, it would be like a football player versus a guy in chorus.
So anyway,
That's good.
but no, like
It's true.
whenever you're talking about that, John Jones is already talking about going up from 205 to 265.
Which means that dude's going to get so big, and if he actually gets there, I would be scared if I was Brock Lesnar.
Right. So,
Right.
like I said, don't get me wrong. I think McGregor is probably the best fighter at his weight class in the world at this point.
Sure.
Best boxer? I don't know.
Probably not.
He could probably fight up to welterweight. If you see how far he's gone from fighting at flyweight
Right.
to now, he's done a really good job. The thing is, the guy fought at flyweight.
Hey, can we all...
So you're talking about taking
a
a guy who's a flyweight naturally, has worked himself up to being a featherweight, may be able to fight in welterweight, and then you're saying, oh, let's put him against a light heavyweight.
Right.
Right.
That's so far off.
Hey, can we all agree that the Pacquiao
Joe, you idiot.
Pacquiao fight was like? Can we all agree with the announcers and everyone there that Pacquiao won?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was a fight that Pacquiao was so old at that point, too.
But still, if you look at the card, it's like, wait, what? Jesus Christ!
Anyway,
Really?
I want to get away from that because if I get into Mayweather, he's just, that'll take all night.
We need to wrap things up. Yeah. So for you guys that are joining us on Facebook Live, again, we appreciate you hanging out with us. So tonight is kind of one of those rare occasions. We've actually got to knock 2 of these bad boys out for this
Yes, we
week.
do. So
for
stick
our
around.
downloaders. So we're going to be on Facebook Live again, probably in the next 15 or so minutes with a brand new show for you. Again, Facebook Live. We want your interaction, but this is going to be another show that we kind of post later on in the
Don't
week.
get upset whenever you hear all of the imaging again and you see the opening again
Right.
and everything else. This is what we were talking about earlier. This is where we want you guys to participate in the shows.
Yes.
But also, we have real jobs, or at least some of us do. We have real jobs, and so sometimes we're going to have to knock out 2 of these in a night for our downloaders. So be
Yes.
here, interact with us. We love having you guys here. But it may not be 3 days a week that you see a shoot, even though it's 3 days a week that you'll upload.
Valid. We're going to have a brand new rejected drink as well, as if we're all prepared for that. I think you guys are prepared.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun night.
So,
I'm not going to lie. This Traveler sucks ass. So
I haven't even opened the second one yet.
yeah, I haven't. I will not open the second one. If I had it my way, we would pull a white trash card from about 12 years ago, go smash this shit against the side of a building somewhere.
That's the reason why I feel like Josh was giving it a little bit too much credit. Whenever he said I would buy this again, I would not buy this again if it was free. I take that
this
back.
one. You picked this
if it's free. No, I wanted to try it because I wanted to compare it to the other IPA.
It's on you, bitch tits.
And I bought it. So I have the right to say that I would not buy it again.
It's like buying a pack of Reasons.
They look
They're
good on the
delicious,
packaging.
but it's like, oh, this is a lot to handle right now.
That is one thing that I will tell you guys right now, that I will
Jesus.
leave this show if we are ever in a position where somebody is giving us beers and they want us to try them. I will leave this show before I lie about a beer just because I got it for free. If it's shitty, I'm going to tell you it's shitty.
Well, that's
Not if they're paying us
again,
enough. You're going to act like you love that son
Well,
of a
if
No,
bitch.
you can pretend
they're-
that, and I'll be on vacation that week.
right. If there's money involved, it's one thing. If it's for publicity, it's like, well, we're gonna be honest.
Who's breaking out the Zimas? Joe.
That was actually one that we
Joe,
talked about.
no, stop, Joe, right now.
That was a conversation.
Stop,
we
Joe,
had.
right now. Zima is an old joke, my man.
So I know it's pushing close to 11 o'clock here. So I
Jesus.
actually think Sammy is about to get off work. So maybe she can swing by and join us for the next show as well. So give us about 15, 20 minutes. We're going to be back with another Facebook Live, and again, it's going to be a completely separate stream. So if you're joining us now, just kind of kick back for a little bit, hang out, and we will have some more Rejected Radio on the way. In the meantime, don't forget. Okay.
In the next segment, we will be playing the game Where's My Dad? I got Sting on that one. Good.
Terrible name for a game. Anyway, so don't forget you can join us again here in just a couple of minutes. And if you want to find us, you can find us on Google Play Music. You can also find us now on iTunes and on Stitcher. And also, Producer John, let them know about the social media platforms.
Yes.
Sir.
We have a Instagram page, a Facebook, and a Twitter. And I believe that's where we're going to stop it for now.
I think we're going to draw the line, yeah.
Yeah. But
Snapchat, but nobody wants to see John naked. Let's be honest.
yeah, that's all.
Wait, you have to do Snapchat.
Anyway, So
Snapchat.
we're gonna do Snapchat eventually.
No way.
I'm talking about right this second. What is on there? But
It
anyway,
is
you
the
can find us
smartest
on
move.
you can find us on Instagram at Rejected Radio Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Rejected Radio, and you can find us on Facebook /Rejected Radio. And then for the YouTube, search for us. Unfortunately, YouTube does not do customized URLs anymore. So find us, go to the website, click the link, whatever. If you want to watch a old podcast, the recorded podcast in video, YouTube is your place. If you want to watch us in sound, the others are your place.
If you want to hear producer John over-explain anything, you can come to the studio
Just come here
anytime.
Like, that's my problem.
Oh, we didn't hand out the Dick of the Day award. We'll do 2 of them next show. Whatever. Let's see. Hang out with us. We will be back in about 15 minutes right here on the Facebook page. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in to Rejected Radio.
And for you guys listening, we'll see you on Wednesday.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget, you can find the latest shows online and on demand on Spreaker, iTunes, and SoundCloud. And you can find Rejected Radio on Facebook and Twitter. You've been listening to Rejected Radio. Copyright 2017. All rights reserved.